All right, how's everyone doing? Hope you're staying safe, eating some good food, being nice to your friends and fam. Today we're factoring when there is a front that is not one, and it's not just that there's going to be a GCF. There might be a GCF. We'll have to check for that first, but we're going to be stuck with some number in front. And what we've been doing is we're going to need to combine what we did with pulling the greatest common factor out, factor by grouping, and the regular factoring when a is equal to 1. So we're just going to look at these two problems. Second one is significantly harder than the first one. But just to start, you've got to make sure that it is in standard form. What I mean by that is you've got the x squared term and then the x and then the number term. Have to put it in the right order first. I'm pretty sure all the problems that we've got to work on today are in standard form, but just in the future, you've got to check that they're in the right order. Second thing, we got to make sure that there is not a greatest common factor to start with. So we got 3, 17, 10. They don't have anything in common. So we're good on that. And now we're going to do the first term times the last term. It's in the notes. Try to type it out nice. It's also well explained on the Khan Academy. What we're going to do is first term times the last term. So 3 times 10. I need to find a product of numbers that's going to be 3 times 10, 30. And I need the sum of numbers that is going to be my middle term, which is 17. So what I did is first times last. That's how I got this number 30. And this is the middle term. So I want to find ways to multiply to get 30, add to be 17. So if you can't figure it out, you can just write down all the possible ways to get 30. So we got 1 times 30, negative 1 times negative 30. We got 2 times 15. Negative 2 times negative 15. We got 3 times 10, negative 3 times negative 10. I know you already seen the answer. And we've got, what's the last one? 5 and 6. And negative 5 and negative 6. So of all the possible ways to multiply to get 30, only one of them is going to also add to be 17. That's this one right here. So 2 times 15 is 30, and 2 plus 15 is 17. So what we're going to do is these numbers, 2 and 15, are the magic numbers that's going to make this really nice. I'm going to split up the middle term with these numbers. I'm just rewriting the equation. Still 3x squared. It's still 17x, but I'm going to write it as these numbers we just found, plus 2x plus 15x, and then still my plus 10. So all I did was take this 17x and write it as 2x plus 15x, still the same thing. But what that does is it lets me group these guys like we were doing in the previous lesson. We've got two groups. I can look for a GCF. So the GCF of the first group, if you don't see anything, it's probably just going to be 1. But the GCF between these is x. So I'm just going to write x and x. You'll see y in a second. And over here, the GCF is positive 5. Just bear with me on the last ones. You'll see it'll make sense. And after I take those out, I'm going to write down what's left. So if I divide these by x, I'm left with, that's going to be 3x plus 2. And over here, if I divide these by 5, I'm left with 3x plus 2. See something familiar? They both have the 3x plus 2. And because they both are being multiplied by 3x plus 2, that's like we were doing in the previous lesson, I can write 3x plus 2 times this quantity, and this is the final answer in factor form. All right, number 2. It's a little bit different. It's in the wrong order. So first thing I'm going to do is put it in the right order. You got to have the x term second and the number term last. Then these are all divisible by 2. I got to take that out. We've got 8x squared minus 2x minus 3. And now I can look to factor. So my product is going to be 8 times negative 3. So my product is negative 24. And my sum is the middle term, negative 2. So got to multiply to get negative 24, but add to be negative 2. What's that going to be? 12 and 2? Nope. 6 and 4, right? So I want negative 6 times 4. That's going to multiply to be negative 24 and add to be negative 2. So I'm going to split these up with those numbers, negative 6 and positive 4. So we've got 2 from before. And I'm just going to rewrite this, 8x squared